director and producer of the Golden Globe nominated show Glee, and has worked on numerous other projects, including The New Normal. Now, Bradley directed the episode On My Way in season 3 of Glee, and that's really what caught attention as it went on the path to portray a suicide attempt in a very respectful way. So thank you all for joining us with that. Monica, just want to start with you and just say hi and welcome for joining us tonight.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Good to go.
All right, wonderful. So I'm Monica Nepomuceno, and I'm with the California Department of Education. I'm honored to have been invited to be a part of this panel, and every year I look forward to seeing all of the directing change films, all of the wonderful creativity from students and their advisors and the groups. It gets better every year, and it's just been so fun to see over the past 6 or 7 years how these videos have morphed and how they're trending. It's just a wonderful message to convey from students to students. So I commend our student filmmakers today, and I'm happy to be with our panelists to just enjoy the messaging that you are conveying through your film. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Monica. And Lisa, why don't you go ahead and take the mic for a second, just say hi to everybody out there.
Hi. It's, as always, just great to be here. Well, usually we're at a different here, but this year is, that's kind of where we are. And I am so excited to talk to these filmmakers because it's just such an inspirational thing, because you're talking about a subject like mental health. But when you are, for me, when you're kind of creating something through film, it inspires both the viewer and the person who made the film. And I feel inspired by every one of them, and I'm super excited to talk to them. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Well, I know they're excited to talk to you too. And with that, finally, the handsome Bradley Buecker. Go ahead, my friend.
Thanks. I'm thrilled to be here as well. When I started working in film, my boss used to say, I only want to do things that are about something. And I think the thing that I love the most about coming to this program every year is that all of these young filmmakers that we're honoring tonight, they all picked up a camera to make a film about something important, maybe the most important thing that we could possibly talk about. When you start talking about mental health, I think it's everything. And I'm so inspired by you guys, and I'm really excited to dig in and talk about your films.
Yeah, I am too. And so let's just jump right in, right? Enough about us. Let's talk about them. So our first film of the night is from this just amazing individual and his teammates. So the first film that we're going to screen tonight is called Del Barrio, which won first place statewide in the Sonamente category, which entire goal is to raise awareness about mental health in the Latino community. So Jesse actually comes from Tri-City, and he comes from the School of Arts and Enterprise. So Jesse Marquez Jr., Dario Alatorre, Julian Valdez, and Kenny Marquez with their film Del Barrio, and Jesse will join us, but enjoy the film.
Desde morro anduve solo por las calles de Pomona. En mi casa nunca hubo una sombra buena. Nunca hablamos de nuestros sentimientos, metas, ni cómo nos fue tal día. Nunca hubo una barrera para detenerme, ni un buen consejo de mi padre. Hasta que encontré a sanamente.org y descubrí el buen camino.
Hi, Jesse. First off, let's go ahead and start by that's an amazing film. Congratulations on your first place win. So what message were you trying to get across in that film?
Hello, Stan. Once again, thank you so much. Yeah,
the main message that I was trying to portray or just convey is what it means, the importance of family, right? And so within the Latino community, growing up, I began to see many of my classmates and many friends of mine who lacked the absence of their father or their mother, maybe due to them working all day or even potentially just being deported. And so I've been so grateful and so blessed to have supportive parents and who have given me this education and have blessed me ever since I was born. But I wanted to give a voice to the speechless. And so through this film, I wanted to represent them and give an idea to those who watch this film what happens in the outskirts. And so this film is based in the community of Pomona. And so all in all, I just wanted to talk about family and its importance.
Well, you definitely did that, man. And I don't know, obviously I'm not a filmmaker, but there is something extremely authentic and just real about your film. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and step back. We're going to bring in Lisa and Brad and Monica. They're going to take it from here. But like I said earlier, man, I'm right here, support and love. So I'll be back in a few minutes. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Monica for the first question.
Thank you so much.
And Monica, you got to unmute real quick. So Lisa and Monica, Brad, go ahead and unmute. We'll be good.
Great. Thank you. Once again, thanks for letting us be a part of this. I think that the message was strong. Being from a Latino family myself, first generation here, I can relate to a lot of what you said in the film and what you conveyed. And I can also say that, for Latinos, mental health is a taboo. And I think that you did a really good job in trying to normalize the conversations and normalize mental health and wellness. So I applaud you for the excellent message.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
I totally agree with what Monica said. And the feeling that I walked away with, it just felt so honest to me. It just felt like you were there. I mean, just even that line about your father or the character's father, and that it's just not something that we talk about. And to go beyond that and to show that it's okay to talk about it and the cultural reference of that, it was just beautifully done. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a real I think what struck me in the filmmaking of it is that there's sort of a composure and a composition. Your actor is very understated and controlled, very still. Mm-hmm. Your scenes are very still, yet your camera is always moving, just a little bit, just creeping in, and it's creeping and it's and then all of a sudden there's a Dutch moment. And I was wondering, it's like, which was really great. It really, and it's the moment of change.
It's the Volta, right?
Yes. And so I was really curious, Jesse, did you intend to do that? Was that something done digitally? Did you do that in editing or did you do that on the day?
That was on the day because, when we prepped this film, I wanted to visually show something that changes, that shows the change within the character. And so I was using the Ronin S, that one gimbal that's really common for indie filmmakers.
Yep.
And so, we used those. We used the gimbal for the push-in shots, and then on the final scene where you see the little, it's called I think it's called the parallax. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But it has a function where the camera can just like slowly move like that. Yeah. And I think that was a great visual cue to demonstrate that, okay, this character who's been struggling a lot finally found something that's going to allow him to change within his life. And I think just the idea of just shifting, the camera can represent and visualize that it's a metaphor to show that he's shifting in his life.
And it was really beautifully done, and really very. It was the visuals were telling the story in a really beautiful way. And I also love at the end how the character has found hope. Just aesthetically, it was like the character went away instead of coming towards us. And I thought it was a really interesting choice because somehow I felt safer seeing him moving away as opposed to coming to us. It was really great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I think like he's moving into the horizon. It's like, for me, I kind of visualize it like a Western film where you see those cowboys who go off into the sunset, and it's a new story instead of coming towards us, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was inspired to do something like that where you have him skate off and he's going into a new direction. He's going to find something new that's going to make him become a better person.
Nailed it.
Got your point across, that's for sure.
So Jesse, as we were talking, it sounds like you got some big plans moving forward. So what do you want to do from here?
Well, I want to continue with my independent projects that I have in mind for the last couple. Well, you know what? Let me talk about a little project that I was going to have going on. And it was an independent film project in my school that I won a grant for. I applied for it, and I won the grant back in October of last year. And so I wrote a couple of drafts of the screenplay. It was ready. We prepped everything. We almost had all our props. We had our locations. We had our cast already. But due to the pandemic, we had to cancel everything and just postpone it for later this year. But I'm currently writing another project which touches about the struggles about morality and Catholicism within my main character, and that's what I have in mind. But yeah, just making a film every year until I graduate from high school. That's my goal, and eventually build a portfolio to apply to film school at the university level. My dream ever since 7th, 8th grade has always been USC. As a kid, I would hear George Lucas went there, and Ryan Johnson, many of these big names, and that USC is a really good way to start. And yeah, that's my goal, trying to graduate there with a bachelor's degree and just do freelance filmmaking within screenwriting and directing. Those are my goals. And I feel like I've been blessed, but because I have so many opportunities, and I'm so thankful for those opportunities that my school has given me, my parents and my family have supported me with. So for most, I'm thankful.
Well, I can already tell that one of your greatest skills is, for one, you got a business sense about you, which is definitely going to help. But as far as what I've learned in life is that kindness and respect always get you further than anything else, man. And you are
absolutely.
Very kind and humble and gracious young man, and anything that we can do to support you. But I can't wait to see your next projects. Go ahead and give a shout out for your website if you'd like to.
Yeah, you could the link, because I don't pay for the, how do you call it, for the proper link. I use the free version, but you could go on my YouTube channel at J Marquez de la Torre, and there you can find all my films, and within the films you have a link to my website, and then to my Vimeo account, as well as my Instagram. And there you can reach out to me.
All right. Well, hey, man, we're really proud of you. We're going to go ahead and make some room for the next filmmaker.
Absolutely.
But, Jesse, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this opportunity. I'm sure that Brad and Lisa, Monica are going to want to follow up with you again after. But again, just super proud of you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. So with that, we're going to move on to our next film, and therefore our next filmmaker. So our next film goes to Choose to Stay, which received second place in Los Angeles County in the regional category from Saugus High School. Filmmakers Lily Merrick, who you'll meet here in just a few minutes, Marissa Lamas, Savannah Stadlander, advisor Wade Williams. Enjoy the film.
She told me to stay and play board games with her when she got home from school. He told me to stay up late and watch movies together until he fell asleep. When I got older, everyone told me to stay in school, stay focused, but it all became too much. Too much pain, too much pressure, too much stress. It got to the point where my life felt pointless, empty. But I stayed. I talked to people about my feelings. I opened up to my friends and family, and it helped. I was finally able to focus on the amazing things life has to offer. I wanted to be able to meet new people, try new things, love, and be loved. I chose to stay, and you can too.
Lily, congratulations. That was absolutely amazing. I love your film. Go ahead and say hi first.
Hi, Stan. How are you? I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
I am so impressed by you. You're an amazing young lady. What I want to do is I get the opportunity to ask you the first question. And what I loved about your film is how you transposed the use of the word stay, and how sometimes people just flippantly kind of throw out cliches, time heals all wounds, there's plenty of fish in the sea, it's going to be okay. But when you're in that space, it feels like forever. So what were you trying to get across in your film?
For our film, it was all three of us, and we all worked on the script. But our main writer, her name's Sammy. She's amazing. We all just wanted people to relate to it, and we wanted people who have experienced this before. We wanted them to feel like they had others who actually cared about them, because with people who experience suicide, like suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, they feel like they're alone, or they feel like no one wants to help them, or no one wants to care for them. And with this, we just wanted to show that people do care, and there's people out there who want to help you.
All right, great. Well, I definitely came across, and I know your film is going to touch and reach and inspire many more people, but I'm going to go ahead and step back. I'm going to turn it over to our judges, Monica, Lisa, and Brad. If you guys could go ahead and unmute yourselves. And Lily, the stage is all yours. This is your big debut. Congratulations again. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Lily, congratulations.
Thank you.
I loved your film. And I'm curious, the use of color in your film was something that was very conscious. And what was your intent in your choices there?
Oh, well, actually, our first draft of the film didn't even have the color at all, and then we showed it to our advisor, Mr. Williams, and he was like, it needs to be more distinct, and we're all like, okay. We all put our heads together, and we're like, okay, we can add in color. So I drained the color from more of the sad, the before, and then we added in the color and we saturated it in the after, so we could kind of get a contrast, and so people would be able to tell, this is what it is.
Fantastic. I was also curious. Your film is square. It almost looks 4x3.
Yeah.
Was that intentional? And was there a reason for that?
It wasn't exactly intentional, but we decided to keep it because it just kind of gave it a little bit of a unique flair to it, and we're like, it fits what we were trying to do, and it ended up working out. So it wasn't exactly intentional, but we just kept it in there.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was interesting. My final question for you is this. For me, I think my favorite thing about your story, the story that you're telling, is the word choose, right? And
yeah.
It's like, and basically the word stay everyone being surrounded by this word stay, right? But the idea that you do make a choice, right? And that it's like you can hear it, and you may be on the other side of it, but that it always is an active choice. And I really thought that was effective, and it's very subtle in there, but then your use of color sort of helped amplify that idea. And I thought it was really powerful and unique.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Yeah. Monica, or do you want me to? Okay,
No,
go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. First of all, I have a very strong connection with Stay. I mean, to me, I have a T-shirt that says Stay too, but it is. I mean, what you did and what you did with that word, which again, it's a word, Stay, but it means everything. It just does, and the way you conveyed it. And again, because I want to talk about the color and the black and white, whether, you brought it in later or not. It just the way that it kind of unfolded and developed, it was, it was almost like you're going to leave this black and white world, but you're going to stay in this world of color because this is what you're creating and this is what you chose. And that's the way that I chose to look at your film, which is what moved me so much. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just think you did a phenomenal job in the portrayal. Again, I thought that family, right, and friends played a big role in that. Even though the character was present, there were still those thoughts of not wanting to stay, but the family unit and the friend unit really convinced her that she felt, enough love, that she felt enough support, that she decided to stay. And so I think that's a huge message. I really liked how you just integrated family and friends and overall that, she was present even throughout her bouts of, suicidal ideation, but nobody really maybe caught that she was suicidal or that she didn't want to stay. And so even just the simple, it goes back to, you don't know how much your words can impact somebody. And so it's important to be kind and to make sure that you make people feel important and loved each and every time, right?
Yeah, that was the main reason we shot it like in public places and in the park and in like normal, ordinary places like everyone goes to. We wanted people to know that like who knows who may be experiencing these things. Like you just want to like look out and you want to try and help whoever you can. So, yeah.
Very well done.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Lily, I just want to acknowledge, you have the path that you have chosen to take your given talents, your passion, and then to make a difference in the world. It takes a very special individual for someone to do that. You could have gone and just focused on, whether it's chasing a career or making money, but to realize that, community and everything is all about taking other people with us, looking out. It's about, as Jesse talks about, taking care of ourselves, but also making sure we're reaching back and taking care of others. So I am just so very impressed with you. I am so very proud of you. Congratulations again on your second place win. And just thank you for joining us tonight. I'm sure people out there in social media world and YouTube and Twitch and Facebook Live are loving on you right now. So again, congratulations. So proud of you. And anything you want to say before we head out?
No, not really. If they're watching, I want to thank the two other girls who helped me so much. We're all newbies to this, like filmmaking and stuff, and so we all kind of worked together, and we were completely shocked and surprised that it got this far. So thank you guys so much, and this has been amazing.
You shouldn't be surprised. You're amazing. All right, you're going to do great things. We'll catch you later, Lily. All right?
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Congratulations. All right, so our next film that we're going to screen with you this evening is Hashiru, which won third place in the Mental Health Matters category on the statewide round of things. They are from Warren High School in Los Angeles. Filmmakers Ruben Mendoza, Andrew Stratton, and Daniel Sanchez.
Running used to be my outlet. After a long, stressful day with school and in life, it felt like something I can come back to. Until it felt different. I didn't do it anymore. I felt lost. Alone. like nobody understood me. I realized what was going on and talked to someone, and they recommended I seek help. Depression and mental health are issues that should not be ignored. If you need help, seek it.
All right, Ruben, what's going on, my friend? How you doing?
I'm feeling amazing tonight, Sam. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. So, what was it like on Tuesday night to get third place statewide, man? That must have been remarkable.
It felt amazing. It was just an honor to even get to that point, and to place it felt even better.
Oh, you deserve it, man. Well, I want you to talk a little bit about, because me and you have had a bunch of conversations now. I feel like we're pretty good friends. So, but I want everybody else to hear when we talk about mental health, what is the one thing you think people should know? It's obvious in your film, but what is it that you wanted to get across to folks?
I mean, the name of the film is Hashiru. That's Japanese for run. The one thing I don't want people to do is to run from their mental health, and issues surrounding that thing. I mean, people tend to put their mental health away from the first priority, and what I want to put out is keep it your first priority, because no matter how far you think you can run from mental health, it's always going to end up catching up to you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and I know you've talked about you've been subject to that in your life. I know, me too. I think one of the greatest disservices we do is we don't teach, especially our young boys, how to deal with their emotion, deal with their mental health, and we set the example that they should run. And I love that you're breaking that mold and teaching them that, no, you got to face it now, because if you don't face it today, it's going to be 100 times worse down the road. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you get some time with our panelists and our judges. So I'm going to bring Lisa, Monica, and Brad in. Judges, if you can make sure you're unmuted. And Ruben, the stage is yours. The spotlight is yours, man. Go ahead and shine.
All right, thank you.
All right, congratulations.
Hey, Ruben, congratulations. You are absolutely correct when you're saying that people sometimes ignore their mental health. And I travel throughout the state, well, when we could travel, and I do presentations to adults. And one of the very first things I ask them is, how many of you have mental health? And that question perplexes everybody, because some people confuse, right? We still confuse mental health with mental illness. And the fact is, hopefully by the time they leave the workshop, they understand that everybody has mental health, and that's just important as physical health. And, sometimes these messages are difficult to convey, but you really have done an excellent job. I was particularly impressed that, the shooting of the film, and I'm not a filmmaker, I can barely take a picture. I really got that message of your character in a field all by himself, feeling lonely, feeling isolated. And I think that most people who suffer from mental illness or mental health disorders oftentimes feel alone. And so I really like the way that you portrayed that. But then at the end, where somebody comes and gives the character a hand, they take it. And so that was a really good example of accepting help. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. That was just the one thing that we wanted to portray is just, we want people to accept the helping hand. Mental illness versus mental health, because everybody does have mental health, and it's just as important as one's physical health. They're up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're symbiotic. They rely on each other. So thank you.
Can we talk about the making of this a little bit? It's like the message is so powerful, and I'm curious, as you approached it, how did you decide, and how did you know? Did you storyboard? Did you to know the images that you wanted to get? Using a drone and just putting a drone up, and you can go anywhere. You can do anything, right? And to have those tools at your disposal, you use them very effectively to tell your story. How did you approach that?
I mean, a lot of the film was in storyboard. You know, we wrote down, you know, we want these shots. When it came time to use the drone, it was really like in the moment. One of our group mates said he had a drone, and me and our other group mate looked at each other and we were like, "Well, why didn't you say anything beforehand?" But yeah, that's when the drone really came into play, and you know, we used it to our full advantage. You know, any shot we can get with the drone, we tried it, and it ended up going into the film.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, it wasn't long ago that when we wanted to get an overhead shot like that, you know, we were hanging out over on a ladder 6 feet over the top of someone. You know, it was a really powerful image, and you used your tools not gratuitously, but well, to tell the story and create a feeling of loneliness and fear.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I will say that, you know, when you think drone, particularly as a young filmmaker, it's like, wow, that is so cool. And so we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do, oh, we have a drone, so we can go over here. You used it masterfully because, as Monica said, the loneliness, the way you conveyed that, and you took, you know, and what Brad said, using your tools effectively, that's exactly, and my note, like the part of my notes is like masterful, because to have the combination, to be a filmmaker and to be able to use your camera, use your drone, use your sound, use your editing, you know, all of that, and get the emotions from all of those things when they're all put together, you accomplish that. And there's really, what else can you do? You know, there's nothing more you can do. So we're just all really proud of you, and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My favorite moment in your film is that last pullout when he's sitting on the ground and the camera pulls back away, and his friend comes in and offers his hand. And I'll tell you that most of the time, when that other person enters the frame, the tendency is to tilt up and see the person's face, but you hold on your character and wait for the hand to come out and the color to go, and let the person's face be revealed as it happens. And I just thought it was such a profound, really, really subtle, and really, really beautiful moment of storytelling, because you didn't take away the focus from the person who was in pain, right? It was all about him, and the hand is what helped bring him out. It was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, that shot, it took a while because we were still beginning to use the drone. But I mean, once we got it, we knew, you know, that shot's going in the film.
Right on.
Well, Ruben, I just got to say, not only from your filmmaking, but it's nice to see a young man who is not afraid to embrace his passion, not just for your interest in filmmaking, but also around these topics. I have big plans for you, my friend. Whatever you choose to do in your life, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's mental health advocacy, whatever, I am just so inspired by you. You're very composed, and if there's anything I can do to support you, I got your back, man. So thank you for joining us tonight. Anything you want to say to close out before we move to the next film?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to give, you know, a quick shout out to my group mates who helped me, Andrew Stratton, Daniel Sanchez, and, you know, the rest of my friend group who helped me through, you know, when I was going through tough times and stuff. They helped me out tremendously. They made me feel open and accepted, and made it pretty much an open environment for anybody to talk about their thoughts or anything.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, thank you to your friends that are out there, like you talked about. And as far as mental health goes, it's all about creating the space, because we are all, as we've heard throughout the night, we are all going through something. And by sharing what we are going through, we are also not just doing ourselves a service by allowing ourselves to be helped and asking for what we need, but we're also setting the table so that others feel more comfortable to know that they can come to us, and that we will be there for them. So again, man, just super proud of you. So lucky to know you, and congratulations again on third place statewide, dude. Just keep rocking it, man. Keep doing you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, congratulations. And with that, we're going to get to our final film of the evening that we're going to discuss, and then we're going to move into the screening portion. But with that, this film was one of the statewide finalists. The next film we're going to be screening is Abbreviated Soliloquies, which is a play off a previous film, which is the full version, Soliloquies. So we have Julia Song from Los Angeles County Ghetto Film School advisor Elizabeth Kim. Enjoy the film, and we'll meet Julia here in just a minute.
In mid-May of 2017, I was diagnosed with ADHD and social anxiety. I think differently and process things differently than I'm supposed to. You just can't tell because I've learned to hide it better. You learn coping mechanisms on your own so it's not obvious. But of course, like many things, the coping mechanisms aren't always enough. It's not perfect and it never will be. Right now, right this very second, nothing is perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect, and it's scary, but it's also okay. Some days will be difficult, and some days you will feel like you miss things you've never had. Some days you will worry that you won't grow as a person, that this is as good as it'll get. But some days are easy, and some days are prettier than others. Some days the sun will light up the clouds and you will look around you and notice how beautiful it looks after it rains. Some days people will talk to you and make you feel small, but some days you'll know they're wrong. Some days will be hard, you will feel like the weight of the world is on you, anxious fingers picked raw, but some days you'll figure out that it's okay, that even though it doesn't feel okay, you'll be alright.
All right, and everybody out there, I would like to introduce you to the soon-to-be very famous Julia Song. Julia, congratulations on an amazing film and making it to statewide. Go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me here. It's really great.
I dig the jacket you're rocking, too. You look good tonight. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, having seen the full version of your film, which I encourage everybody to go to, and are you comfortable sharing your website with the world? I mean, I guess
Yes.
It's already shared with the world. So what is your website?
My website is juliasongfilms.com.
juliasongfilms.com. So please go check out the website. You can see the full version. But even the abbreviated soliloquies is really powerful. What were you hoping to, like if somebody watching your film, maybe they've dealt with some of the things you've dealt with, what were you hoping that they would walk away from with that?
Well, at the time that I made it, I was 15 and was like diagnosed with anxiety and ADHD just like only a few months before that. So I was making that film in that moment as a way for me to sort of talk through everything with myself and sort of figure out how it's affected me and who I am as a person. And making a film like that sort of allowed me to concentrate on that. But now, like 3 years later, when I look at that film, I'm thankful for like it giving me the ability to sort of understand that aspect about myself, but also through that, I hope that other people are able to sort of relate, because I know that when I was dealing with all this stuff before I talked to anyone, it's really isolating if you feel like you're going through everything alone. So I sort of wanted this film to act as a like conversation starter for people and sort of normalize the conversation around mental health.
Okay, I lied. I'm actually going to hog the mic for a second because I want to talk about something you just said. So first off, the way you describe it, it's almost like the film was a journal for you, a way to express into art. And I think for me, you know, I engage with art, but more than anything, I consume it, and it has gotten me through some of the darkest times. So I love that it wasn't just your journal, but eventually you turned it into something, like you said, to maybe shape something. That's, you know, I think that's at the heart of why we rise. I think that is heart of the, you know, the Each Mind Matters mental health theme this year is express yourself. And again, when we express ourselves, we set the table for other people. So really proud of you. And now I will go ahead and stop talking and turn it over to our eloquent judges. So Lisa, Monica, and Brad, I will let you go ahead and take it away. And I think the first question is from Lisa, right?
Sure. Julia, I first of all, I relate on so many levels. For the last film that we did, The S Word, was for me a way to deal with a lot of stuff. And, everybody has their outlets, whatever they may be. And, what Stan said, just, the fact that you're journaling through this, it felt very personal. I mean, watching it, it just felt very personal and very relatable. And your use of animation and the way that it was blended, I mean, what I have down here is skillful, because it doesn't always work, when you have animation and then you're mixing it. And I would love to, what sort of inspired that, like doing the animation and mixing in the live action? Like, how did that come about?
This soliloquies was really the first time that I decided to mix those two mediums together. But I think what inspired me was when I was growing up, my parents always had me, they were like, you can't watch these types of shows, but it was always cartoons that I'd be watching. So I'd always be watching Cartoon Network and stuff. So I think because of that, the way that the foundation of how I feel I need to tell a story is sort of built on animation in a way. So in that aspect, I feel like in order to fully, I guess, express my ideas, a lot of it comes, I see it in my head as partially animated. But with that being said, also being able to take footage from the outside world and traditionally camera shot footage, blending those two together, sort of allowed me to express my ideas and emotions better. Because also the other thing with animation is that you're sort of able to do whatever you want and create whatever. I think that it's a more accurate reflection of what's my thought process, I guess, and more of my personality, because I'm the one manifesting that from nothing. And by blending it together, I thought that it would have showed my perspective and stuff more.
Yeah, the blend worked. It felt really skillful. And on the other part of this was reassurance. I felt very reassured by this film. Your journey through it, it just felt like, you know what? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I really feel like you got that across. So thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, there's just a vulnerability that comes through in your film that I think everyone it's as an audience member, you just lean into it, because anytime a filmmaker feels vulnerable, a storyteller feels vulnerable, when that translates on the screen, we all relate, and I thought that was so effective. And your animation was just the design and the execution of it was perfect. I'd love to talk to you about the editing, because I actually I started as an editor, and it's the way that you approached your storytelling through the use of, it's there are blacks in there, right? And when do you decide to go to black, and when do you not decide to go to black? And also your use of sound, right? And there are times when the ambient sound is not there, and there are times when all of a sudden the ambient sound comes in. And I'm curious, would you just talk about that? Was that intentional? Or it's what was your process, and how did that work for you?
So really the black spots, I made this film when I was at a summer residency with Ghetto Film School. They sent us to NYU. And I was so crunched on time, and a professor there, Rick Litvin, whom I love, he was sort of okay, this is okay. Just think about, you can keep some black spots in, but think about the intention behind it. So that really forced me into deciding when I wanted those moments. And I think I chose to have these just empty slots. If it was if I wanted more emphasis, I guess, and to have the viewer feel it was more personal, I was talking to them rather than them just watching something. So it sort of felt like a conversation between the two of us. And then as far as the sound design and stuff goes, I guess I cut included the ambience in some aspects when I wanted to sort of open up like the space to, I guess, like the larger world, because for the majority of the film it's just me, like I was by myself in a room just like recording with this mic, so it's very, even the voiceover feels very intimate. So by adding those ambient noises in, I sort of wanted it to like open back the viewer into like the general world again.
It's really, there's a line in your in your voiceover where you talk about the world not being a perfect place, right? And the energy of the editing sort of has this jagged, unexpected, you don't know where I'm going to go next, so pay attention, because the world isn't perfect. And it just, for me, it played so beautifully. I was really moved by it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I was hoping would happen, and that's sort of what I was feeling too when I was when I write that kind of stuff. That's just sort of how I felt, So.
Well, Julia, as you heard from the questions and all the engagement from our judges, you can tell that you put so much thought into it, and everything was conscious and everything was calculated. And did you say you made the full version when you were 15 years old?
Yes, I did. I was 15.
Well, at 15 years old, I was writing bad poetry. So the fact that you made an amazingly beautiful film at 15 years old, as you improve your skills and continue, and where did you say you're going on to school next year?
I'm going to NYU Tisch to study for film next year.
You're going to study film at NYU?
Yes.
Okay, so as I have joked around probably in the past, don't forget us in your Oscar speech. I want a little shout out to Directing Change.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm holding you to it. I got this on video. There's people watching. So
of course, Directing Change means a lot to me. I love everything, and as well as We Rise too.
Oh, I'm just joking. You just go take over the world, and just know that everybody here on the panel tonight, Monica, Brad, Lisa, I'm sure I can speak for you when I say that we will be rooting you on as you take over the world. So congratulations.
Thank you. That means so much to me.
Anything you want to say before we go out?
I guess thank you to my family, especially to Ghetto Film School I was with them. I started film with them when I was 13 and ended when I was 17. So they really saw me grow up and gave me the skills that I had and made me the person I am today. So I appreciate them.
Well, you definitely got skills, young lady. So you go ahead and you do you and go conquer the world. And thank you again and congratulations on
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, before we head to screening of the final films, I just wanted to pass it to Brad, to Lisa, to Monica, any of you to jump in to either talk about the process tonight or talk about what it's like to be able to screen these films as a judge, because you guys have been judges for years and years now. What is it like when you get that email and you open up those links and you get to watch those films? What is that experience like to see amazing films like the ones we just talked about?
Oh gosh, for me personally, I get excited because I get to see all of the creativity, as I said at the beginning, from the students. I get to see powerful, creative messaging, and I've learned that there are some students who enter their submissions because they're interested in filmmaking. They have no idea about mental health or advocacy or mental illness even, and they learn about it through the process. And what I hear and what I've seen is that at the end of their experience with Directing Change, they become lifelong advocates for mental health. And that to me, is just putting more people on that bandwagon to help the cause. So that's what I look forward to every year. And I appreciate that you keep inviting me.
Now, you are always welcome at our table. Thank you, Monica. Brad or Lisa, you guys want to talk about the process at all?
Go ahead, Lisa.
Sure.
I love it. It's like every year, it's just this amazing window into getting to see young filmmakers, do it as well as anyone. It's really it's fun to see the messaging, to see the storytelling, to see the ideas, the creativity, and and it's just the process has changed so much. It's like the tools, and it's like and I love how the tools exist, yet they don't define anything. It's like the drone. It's what Lisa said. It's like you can have a drone, and it's like you can create the coolest shots in the world that don't mean anything, right? It all has to be grounded in emotion and story. And I just every year I leave this night. Every year when it comes time to watch the films, it's like, oh, get ready, here we go. And this arc and this journey sort of leaves me with this inspiration where you get to remember why and how we got into this and decided to become a filmmaker in the first place.
That's beautiful, right? To tell stories and impact people. And you've definitely done that, Brad, and tons of respect for you and the work and the scripts. And I mean, that's how we first met, man. We were just so inspired by that episode in Glee. And it was one of the few times in my life that I can honestly remember watching a show and saying, like, wow, they got it right. Like, they gave it so much respect and authenticity. So thank you for all your support over the years for directing change.
Yeah, I have to say it does remind me why I got into this in the first place. And also, I remember early on doing this, like I was honored to be asked, and unless I said, Stan, can I do it? I don't remember how it went.
I think I slightly stalked you a little bit, and then
maybe that's how it went. But however it went, I remember thinking when I first started watching it, are these mental health advocates who are making films to do this? Or are they filmmakers who are working with mental health? Like, I didn't know which order. And then I realized as the years went on, it's like, it didn't matter because it blended so beautifully. And it was about the message. Like what Brad said, it didn't matter what the tools were. They were there and they were used more mass every year, I thought. And they conveyed that. And I just, being part of this it just means a lot to me. And being able to, I have to admit, I'm a little bit sad this year that I know Brad and I would be sitting there next to each other, getting to talk to these kids, and we can talk to them on Zoom, but, and hopefully next year we'll be able to talk to them again live.
Yeah, it's a really good point. So any of those people, aspiring filmmakers, mental health advocates who are thinking about making a film next year, hopefully we will be able to gather in person again. And hopefully we always do this amazing award event. Brad and Lisa and Doug, I know you're watching as well. You guys come and you inspire our youth. And Brad, one of the most powerful things you have always said, and same with you and Lisa and Doug, is you don't talk down to these youth at all. You see them as equals and filmmakers, and you see their potential, and that spark sets it off. Whether they came in as mental health advocates who are learning about film and they say, oh wait, I didn't know I was good at this thing, or they come in as filmmakers and all of a sudden they're changing their major in college or volunteering at a mental health community-based organization. Thank you all. So what's going to happen now is we're actually going to screen those other 16 films that I mentioned. So these are all Los Angeles County films that won at some level in one of the categories. Just out of time, I'm going to go ahead and let the films speak for themselves. As you saw with the other ones, there's a title slide that says the name of the film, the school, the filmmaker, and most importantly, to the educators. The educators are listed there. Educators, you are the chosen people. Thank you for supporting the youth in the creation of these films. We'll go ahead and watch those 16 films. And Monica, it has been such an honor to you, speaking of educators, to work and change the conversation in our state around suicide prevention, mental health. We have much more work to do, but you and I and our fellow student mental health policy work group members are really changing the conversation. And you were one of the very first people who believed not just in the program, but also in me. So I'm truly touched to have you as a friend and your support on this program.
Thank you, Stan. The feeling is mutual.
All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and screen the remainder of the films, and I'll come back up and we'll just do a quick wrap. But enjoy the screening. Thank you for being here tonight.
There are days where I'm so excited about anything and everything, where I laugh so hard my stomach twirls in rebellion. Little by little, the tornado inside me starts to spiral, tearing down my pride, my voice, and my loved ones. But it takes one mountain to take down a tornado. Be someone's mountain. See something, say something.
If you or someone you know is showing the signs for taking their life, call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. There's always another way.
Have you noticed changes in your friend's mood or behavior? Do you notice that they're distancing themselves? If you are struggling with depression or thoughts of suicide, remember that it is okay to tell someone and ask for help. If you notice someone showing signs, help them. Be the light in the darkness. If someone tells you that they're thinking of harming themselves, tell a trusted adult. Don't be a keeper of the secret. If your loved one is struggling with depression or thoughts of suicide, you can call 1-800-273-8255.
Are you okay?
Bro, Uncle Christoph? Hey, is that the car you've been working on? Does any of these buttons work?
Buckle up. Check this out.
This is so cool!
You know, I'm just so sick of your son all the time.
It's your son too. What's going on?
Is this what's going on in your life? Is this the reason why you threw away the projects that you were working on in my class? I found the hoverboard plans in the trash can. That is what I want to talk to you about. I know that life can be tough. You don't have to go through life on your own. Teachers and coaches and counselors at the school are there to listen and help you. There's a better future in it for you out there if you reach out to your family and friends.
Cool car.
Cool hoverboard.
Can I keep it?
It's yours, but not now. In the future.
Shouldn't need to go to the future to prevent suicide. Know the signs. Suicide is preventable.
I am living with depression.
I am living with anxiety.
I am living with ADHD.
I am living with bipolar disorder.
I am living with OCD. But that's not all that defines me.
I am more.
I am more.
I am more.
I am more.
I am an athlete.
I am an artist.
I am a musician.
I am a dancer. I am a writer.
I am a leader.
I am a friend.
I am creative.
I am smart.
I am funny.
I am adventurous.
I am curious.
I am hardworking. I am bold.
I am courageous.
I am fearless.
I am strong.
I am brave.
I am not alone.
I am not a burden.
I am loved.
I am good enough.
I am me.
I am me.
I am me.
I am me.
I am me. Join the mental health movement. Let's break the stigma.
I don't know when this all started, this distant feeling.
It crept up on me, and now I can't get rid of it.
I try to drown myself in schoolwork. It's the easiest distraction.
Everywhere I go, it's there, in the back of my mind. Even when I'm trying my best to focus on something else, I can't get away.
I'm sick of this feeling. I just need someone to talk to. Someone who understands.
I was scared to talk to someone. Scared that they wouldn't believe what I was feeling. But once I did, I realized I'm not alone anymore. I'll feel okay again.
Every time my anxiety kicked in, it always seemed to hurt a bit too much for a bit too long. It felt like no matter what I did, I could never rest. I'd try and try to catch a break, but it felt like the obstacles never stopped. I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to tell someone or get help from somewhere. And that was when I began to see something. As I began to open up and tell people about how my anxiety was affecting me, I felt more free. I began to realize that I wasn't alone, and that I have places to reach out to. Things will never be perfect, but I know every time I get knocked down, I'm gonna be okay, because I can always get back up.
The world of mental health is a very strange and alien one that we've yet to fully understand. But what we do know is that it greatly impacts us all, regardless of age or gender, and what you'll often see is that the solution is quite simple. What do we have going on here? What's the matter, little Bobby?
I got a 50 on my arithmetic test.
Well, don't fret, sport. Your mental health is much more important than a measly test grade. Stress is what's got you down.
Really, mister?
Yes. Stressing over academics is one of the biggest problems within our youth. Here's a past student to tell you his peace of mind. Remember, he's been through it, folks.
Take it from me. School is important, but your mental health is much more important. A few measly letters shouldn't dictate how you feel all the time. Just remember, school isn't about the grades you get, it's about what you learn.
As you've seen, mental health impacts people of all shapes and sizes. If you or a loved one has been displaying signs of depression or suicidal behavior, dial this toll-free number at 1-800-273-8255. And remember, don't be afraid of the stigma surrounding mental health. You are not alone.
Mi nombre es Ana María. Cuando estuve en Guatemala sufrí de abuso sexual y con el tiempo decidí salir adelante, continuar con mi vida. Decidí emigrar hacia los Estados Unidos, pero seguía sintiendo el mismo dolor. El dolor nunca se iba. Los problemas seguían apareciendo en mi vida, especialmente en la escuela. Habían unas personas que me perseguían para molestarme y humillarme. Nunca entendí el por qué. ¿Será por la forma en que he visto? Sinceramente no lo sé. Estaba viviendo en una pesadilla. Solo quería terminar con todo. Quería suicidarme y no seguir sufriendo. Pero siempre hay alguien, un amigo adulto o incluso programas que te pueden ayudarte al seguir adelante y nunca perder la esperanza de vivir.
Vengo de una generación de personas religiosas y trabajadoras, personas que nunca se rinden y luchan a través de la oscuridad que trae la vida. Y por eso siento que no puedo expresar mis emociones. Parece que lo menos que hablo sobre mis sentimientos es mejor, porque siendo algo diferente a bien, es siendo débil. Estoy atrapada en la oscuridad de mis pensamientos, pero no puedo expresar nada por temor de deshonrar la fortaleza de mi familia. Pero cuando logro mencionar algo, mis padres me dicen que me tengo que acercar más a Dios, que rece, lea la Biblia y que vaya a la iglesia. Me siento atrapada en el estigma de la salud mental. No puedo decir cómo me siento ni expresar mis pensamientos. El estigma de la salud mental afecta a todas las culturas, y mejorándola puede empezar contigo. No dejes que tu voz sea domesticada al silencio.
Estos son mis amigos. Salimos todos los días, siempre juntos. Todos venimos de diferentes lugares lejanos, con diferentes historias increíbles. Nos gusta divertirnos y disfrutar la vida. Nos gusta especialmente jugar este juego de mesa, donde tenemos que formar palabras. Todos somos bastante buenos en eso, pero a veces me preocupo por mis amigos. La vida no siempre es fácil, ni perfecta. Pasamos por mucho, sintiéndonos solos a veces. Puedo verlo en sus caras, teniendo ansiedad, tristeza y sintiéndose solos. Y a veces, cuando jugamos se nota. Pero aprendimos en la escuela que la salud mental es importante, que no tenemos por qué estar solos. Podemos hablar con un maestro, un consejero, un médico o nuestra familia. También hay un sitio web que podemos visitar y un número al que podemos llamar solo para hablar con alguien. Sobre todo, nos tenemos al uno al otro, porque somos amigos.
Something's not right. Your friend, you've noticed, haven't you? Distant from friends and family, sleep troubles, change in personality, increased irritability, sudden hostility. These are all possible signs that your friend is in danger of suicide. Don't shrug it off. You care for that person, right? Then let them know. Talk to them, listen to them, comfort them. It won't be quick and easy, but be the one to reach out. Your friend needs you.
¿Por qué la escuela es tan difícil? No sé qué quiero hacer con el resto. Me siento que estoy atrapada.
Hola, señora. Hola. ¿Todo bien? Honestamente, estoy un poco ansiosa y no sé si puedo hablar con mis parientes o no, porque tengo miedo que solo no van a entender.
Tal vez deberíamos visitar un sitio web como sanamente.org para ver la información que tiene sobre el bienestar mental. Además, podemos hablar con tu familia para ver cómo podemos ayudar. Tienes que saber que nunca estás sola.
I used to be sad, not just sad, but depressed. Bad thoughts always spinning around in my head. I was alone. I felt invisible. I wouldn't eat hoping I would be skinny enough to fit in. I looked in the mirror and all I saw were my flaws. So many flaws. Then someone came to help. A friend who was always there for me. She helped me see all the things to be happy about. She saw me. She accepted me for who I am. If you or a loved one are experiencing long-lasting sadness or irritability, dramatic changes in eating or sleeping habits, or social withdrawal, these may be symptoms of mental illness. Reach out and help.
Life is hard. No one said it was easy. Especially the wall. The wall broke my happiness. The wall broke me and tore all the things I love. I say to myself, who am I? And my friends say, you are you. They help me out so much. Till this day I'm still trying to repay them. But they just say, hang out with us. So I do. And we hang out every day, during and after school. And I broke my sadness. The wall can't pin me down. Because I broke the wall. So can you. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And remember, with the courage, friends, and yourself, you can break the wall too.
This is a story about a boy named Vincent who was diagnosed with depression because of constant bullying. A lot of people get bullied, but the worst part is no one notices. But what most people don't know is that words can really hurt somebody. And the bullying can sometimes continue. That's why it's very important that you know the signs. Go up to them and ask them what's wrong. And remember that it's equally important to reach out. If you see them, go up to them and ask them what happened. When they tell you what's wrong, take action and tell an adult. If you know the signs, reach out and tell an adult. You could really help them. Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. If you ever feel like you're in need of help, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is always there for you.
All right, and thank you everyone. For joining us tonight. Thank you for our amazing filmmakers for your beautiful films. For our filmmakers who are watching out there, I just want to share a story with you really quick, which is that when I was in high school, I lost one of my friends to suicide. In my senior year, I started a suicide prevention program, and one of the things that I am most proud of in my life is that program is still there, but also that I received a letter from one of my classmates the next day that after the assembly and after the presentation, she had changed her mind. She had been having thoughts of suicide. And I got this anonymous letter from her. Sarah, if you're listening, much love to you. But I say that with you because we never know the ripple effects that our actions will have on others. And I can absolutely guarantee to our young filmmakers, both in LA as well as across the state, that your films are going to change lives, inspire people. They will give people the strength to either reach out for themselves or to reach back and carry those that are in their lives for a little bit until they find their reasons for living. We're also proud of you. We're also grateful to you. And at Directing Change, we are especially grateful to We Rise and Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health. So proud of what it is that you do and looking at different ways to engage the communities around Los Angeles on these topics through art and providing the opportunity for us to collaborate. Thank you for Each Mind Matters for always believing in this program. The We Rise virtual We Rise is going to be live through the end of May. So please engage. Go to the website werisela.la where you can find out more about the upcoming events. And please visit directingchangeca.org where you can visit and check out all the other amazing films from around the state. With that, it is just inspiring to spend our time with you this evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for bearing with us through the technical starts, but we got it. And most importantly, we got the opportunity to honor some amazing youth tonight. So take care, stay safe, and we will see you soon. Have a wonderful evening.